All right, everyone. I'm here at the AstroCon's booth with
Ben Friedberg
and
Leon Dole.
And here they are promoting their new web series, AstroCons. Can you tell us a little bit about what AstroCons is about?
Sure. AstroCon's a weekly web cartoon about a government agency called the Department of Space, and sort of all the insanity and bureaucracy they deal with, and makes a good little engine for fun pop culture, geek culture references for us to make.
We make fun of the government for a living. It's wonderful.
All right, awesome. And here you're promoting one of your first episodes of AstroCons. How long was the development cycle of your first episode?
Excellent question, Paz. Thank you. Leon and I probably traded scripts. The first time was January, right? And so it's taken, I think the development process was probably 4 months to get it to where we wanted to go out and cast. Casting took about a month, and then from there we were, it's like 5 months to get. We've got 6 episodes in the can right now. We're gonna have a 14 episode cycle for season 1.
Awesome, awesome. And what goes into the voice acting of your episodes? How would you differentiate a voice from main characters to supporting characters and so on?
Well, we do have several supporting characters. I think the real difference is the amount of time we get to spend with the actors. We're pretty tech savvy, so we spend a lot of time doing table reads via the internet, via conference. We spent a lot of time getting to know one another, and the rapport is probably the biggest difference, I think. If you have a bit player coming in, they're not going to have the same rapport as you would with a regular player.
Absolutely. The dialogue's pretty rapid fire back and forth. It's kind of, people getting into arguments about if Rise of the Planet of the Apes could actually happen or not. And, being able to trade back and forth and having that sort of connection, it makes the dialogue seem a lot more genuine. So we're really lucky with our cast.
I mean, for the pilot, we let people run, you know what I mean? Our goal was to let actors take the script and go off book and really kind of like express their personalities through interaction. We've found that that's really powerful. First thing we like to do now though is get it locked in, cut, and then we'll let them run with it, you know what I mean? Some of the best stuff we've got is the result of riffing, you know what I mean? Just straight up improv.
All right, awesome. And throughout the midway in your first season, are you planning to introduce new characters throughout the first season, or are you saving that towards your potential second onto your third season?
I'll let Dr. Dole I'll let the maestro talk about that.
So throughout season 1, we're going to be introducing, actually our episode that's going to be showing on Wednesday is a presidential election one, so you get to meet the President of the U.S., President Norton, America's first female president in our universe. You get to meet a congressman who's, kind of wanting to take down the Department of Space a little bit. Down the road, you meet the Russian space program. Chester A. Arthur may or may not make an appearance in season 2. I've got a weird Chester A. Arthur infatuation that has to come into the show. So we're going to be introducing a lot of new characters, a lot of fun supporting characters. The whole concept is anybody that comes in, pay attention to them because they will always show up down the road. It's just someone else that we can come and have come in and add to the insanity of it.
Awesome. And one of my favorite video games I've played in the past was Mass Effect. Are you guys planning to have some parodies on science fiction video games throughout your web series?
Absolutely. I mean, I'll pretty much go to town anywhere I can. B-movies, video games, comic books, I'll throw in everywhere. It's usually all the dialogue is pretty self-deprecating to myself with the culture that I love, but there's a lot of sort of like fun like Halo references that are going to show up from like the game that my buddies and I have done. A lot of like sort of the MMORPG stuff that I do personally that comes out in this show. We pull it in from everywhere we can. It's any stuff that we do, our characters are going to end up doing.
I mean, gaming is such a big part of popular culture. It's such a big part of what we do that it's going to come in. The thing about our dialogue and the show's dialogue is that it tends to be very organic in our process. So, very rarely are we forcing something in there where it doesn't fit. And gaming actually fits really, really well. The number of space games that are out there, the number of military, government-based games. We can have a lot of fun with that kind of subject matter.
And with the context of your show, how did you come up with this decision on, have this for like a teen to young adult rated audience? How did that come out to be?
Well, I think it reflects who we are and where we come from. I mean, ultimately you're talking about the millennial generation, which spans, 20 years. And so, popular culture kind of has a span, you know what I mean? And for us, it was 80s, 90s, 2000s. So naturally, it's going to draw those folks in. It's going to bring them in. The things that we love and enjoy, we hope that others find it to be as enjoyable as we do. We reference, everything from Back to the Future to,
Coco Beware for the WWF.
Exactly.
In the 80s,
So it's
makes it show up.
I mean, it kind of like runs the gamut. From professional wrestling to
awesome movies like The Rocketeer.
Exactly.
That I'm a huge fan of. So.
All right. And have you ever thought about sending the cast to space for an episode or two?
We're in talks. I mean, we've got Virgin now has Virgin Intergalactic, so
all we need to do is raise I think $825,000, and we can get the entire cast into space.
Yeah.
Like really into space.
We can talk to the Russians. You can buy seats, I think, on the Russians
for less.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll just get
Virgin Galactic's selling it for like $125,000 a pop.
If Richard Branson sees this,
maybe
hook up AstroCon.
Come on, Rich.
Do a little cross
what
promo.
Up?
Hook it up. Come on, guys.
All right, and lastly, space zombies.
Oh,
well,
I mean,
it's kind of like jumping the shark. I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Space zombies are
Space zombies is kind of like jumping the shark. I feel like.
Will they make an appearance? No. Will there be preparation for an appearance?
Will there be references to zombies as the result of drug use? Yes, absolutely.
Space apocalypse does come out in a couple episodes.
No doubt.
An end of the world scenario might make its way in. We don't want to spoil it. We don't want to throw any spoilers
you don't want
out.
to mess
But
that
there
up.
might be a space apocalypse coming towards AstroCons.
Agreed.
All right, awesome. And when is your next episode airing on the internet?
Actually, we had a second episode debuted today. And then the next episode, which is our presidential debate, debuts on Wednesday, the day before the presidential debate. Ours is going to be funny on purpose versus the presidential debate, which I think the accidental humor might be better, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, ours is less of a comedy of errors and just a straight comedy. Let's put it that way.
It's less tragic.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite episodes, though.
All right, thank you very much for the interview opportunity. Hope you have a good Comic-Con.
Thank you, Shabazz.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Would you like to hear about